ain't got to bend down.
Oh, you trying to be funny?
No, y'all give it up for Jamie J again one more time, y'all. Oh my goodness, boy, y'all sound tired. That sound like y'all ain't want sea levels is high in the mug right now. Y'all, this is a comedy show with a spiritual twist. You see what I'm saying? Jamie J done already cussed, so we might as well just let the cat out the bag. It is a spiritual twist. You see what I'm saying? Got a little bit on it. We not all the way saved, but we visit church. You see what I'm saying? So good to see y'all. Y'all better act right. We got a first lady in the house right here. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Not my first lady. I'm just saying we got one in the house right there. That's a bishop's wife right there. See, I'm surprised she didn't have no oil sitting in her purse. But it is so good to see y'all. Bro, how you doing, my man? Good to see you, dog. I ain't going to mess with you. I just wanted to acknowledge your presence right there. That was all. I don't want no smoke tonight, bro. I'm in Cincinnati. I'm from David. I know how the natty get down, bro. Everybody look like thugs around here. If you ain't got one gold tooth, you see what I'm saying? You see Boosie Collins' agent over there in the blue jacket. You say, I know I'm in trouble. That's why I'm going home tonight. You see what I'm saying? He walked in. He was like, boy, they don't even know. I'm going to put the biggest cat on my chest. It came with whiskers. Good to see everybody in here. Shout out to my man right here. I see you, boy, got that butterscotch leather on, man. Hey, boy, hey, that's Keith Sweat's agent right there. That is my guy, man. Good to see y'all. So I came all the way from Dayton, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to talk about. Because, I haven't got paid yet, so I'm just, I don't even know. I'm just saying, I'm going to ask y'all what y'all want to talk about. What's going on in the news today? Okay, look. Well, because it's a spiritual twist tonight, you see what I'm saying? We gonna keep with the theme, you see what I'm saying? JoJo asked how many married couples we got out here. I've been with my wife for 30 years. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, 30 years. No, don't clap for that, because we argue over the pettiest stuff. We'll literally argue over a toenail. For real. Like, I was cutting my big toenail one night, and it shot across the room, and I heard it hit the wall. But she gonna get mad at me. Did you put the church finger up, sister? Amen. She couldn't even find the curtains. Is that the church usher? Hey, Jay, you didn't hire somebody? Y'all give it up for Hey, Jay, too, putting this on. The clean comedy. Comedy with a spiritual twist. You see what I'm saying? I seen let me get back to my joke. So my big toenail hit the wall, and we got into an argument. I know that's one heck of a segue back into that, isn't it? And we got into an argument. Sir, the reason we argued was because she said, are you going to go and get that? And I was like, well, yeah, if I can find it. The argument started again in the morning when she stepped on it. And that was when the argument began. So all I'm saying is to you, men, please cut your big toenails. You know, the older you get like an extra layer every 10 years. I'm 54 this year. My big toenail is about as thick as a quarter-pounder burger. And it's okay to get pedicures. It's okay for men to get pedicures. Don't do that. Hey, bro, I already know, man. I already know. Bro, your big toenail, if you ain't cut it and you got on church shoes, bro, that's a painful Sunday, ain't it? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I see a lot of seasoned saints in here. You see what I'm saying? My big mama, I was like, hey, big mama, she was like, baby, how old are you? I was like, hey, this was last year. I was like, hey, I'm 53. She was like, you still a baby. I was like, don't do that, grandmama. I said, which one of us is in diapers right now? Comedy with a spiritual twist. we we gonna stick with the theme tonight. You see what I'm saying? But I lost my big mama earlier this year, and not like that. Not like that. She didn't pass away. It was just I went to church and I was hired as the catcher. The catcher. Y'all know the people that catch the people when they fall out? Well, so my big mama, she a little, like 3-something. Yeah. So they hired me that Sunday because Big Mama didn't pre-order her ushers. I think at a certain time, if you are a certain weight, you need to pre-order your ushers. I think you need to have at least 4 or 5 on deck if you know you over 250. I think you need to call. You know what I'm saying? I think Bishop gonna have a good word. I'd like to have 4 ushers because I feel like I'm gonna fall out in the spirit this Sunday. So she didn't pre-order her ushers, so it was just me and my cousin. And so Big Mama got happy in the spirit. Now let me explain something. My Big Mama, she's got them arms on the back that's extra like. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just telling you my story, sis. She was like, watch it. Y'all know that extra cushion meat on the back. It's like memory foam. You can sleep real good in service on that thing. That's foundation. She got them arms where you find yourself slobbering in service. And when she put it down on her side, it would just expand like a fresh mattress coming out of a bag. Comedy with a spiritual twist. I'm keeping it in the church, if y'all recognize. I'm keeping it in the church just for you. I see you over there. I see you just got saved last Sunday by accident. I know you tripped and fell on the altar. Look, and now you with Bootsy Collins, manager, right? Yes, sir. Oh, no marriage. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, you by yourselves. I'm so sorry. But getting back to what I was talking about. I got ADHD, okay? Y'all cut me some slack, all right? I've had it since I was 13. All of us in here, Black has some issues. We just was told drink some Robitussin and then go sleep it off. Let's not do that in here, saints. All right? This is comedy with a spiritual twist. Amen. Thank y'all. I can tell y'all go to church or visit. So my big mama went down for prayer, all right? And my big mama got happy in the spirit. And when they get happy in the spirit, their arms just go out just like that. We was able to get my big mama down. We grabbed both of them arms, laid her down. She was in the spirit. But early Sunday morning, we had to get Big Mama up. And that where God was testing our faith. So my Big Mama said, I'm ready to get up. I said, you ready? He was like, let's go. I grabbed the left arm. He grabbed the right arm. But the meat on her arms, we was trying to find something. So I said, well, just grab her by the meat and pull. We started pulling on the meat, but we couldn't find the skeletal system. I said, can you find the bone? He said, I can't find one. And I said, well, let's pull her up like a wet comforter, all right? On 3. Comedy with a spiritual twist. I said, let's pull her up like a wet comforter. So we're pulling. I'm using my neck muscles. And it ain't working. And I said, bruh, I said, cuz? He said, what? I said, just let God have her. We dropped her. And that was how I lost my big mama. I was fired that same Sunday for losing her. And my time is getting ready to get cut short, but I want to encourage everybody that's in here tonight. Why are you laughing? Look, she was like, that's a joke right there. She said she don't trust me. This is comedy with a spiritual twist. Hello. And watch who you, I'm going to just give y'all a few pointers if y'all visit this brothel church that we're in. I'm sorry, this is comedy with a spiritual twist. That's right, it is, yeah, it happens. I walked there, I was like, wow. Like, this is, I was excited. Look, what? So I'm encouraging. I know Maria. I'm sorry, Maria back there. She making sure I don't go over my time. I'm sorry. They gave me a microphone. They let me go after So, but I want y'all. I want to encourage y'all. Do a good deed every day if you can for someone. All right, if you can. I try to do a good deed as much as I can. There was a homeless man that was on the corner in my block. Give me 10 more minutes, cuz. Give me 10 more minutes. I'm going to hurry up and get out of here because between you and Maria, this is my eyes. I'm cockeyed. You this tall than Maria right here. And I'm like, I don't know which way to look. So give me a minute, Miss Maria. So I'm making a little bit of money now. I'm going to the dentist. I'm trying to keep my side teeth. Because that's the first thing that go is the side teeth. And so I'm trying to, make sure that I do good deeds, every day. So there was a homeless man that was on our corner, where I live. And so I went up to him. I said, sir, do you need any, you need anything? You need any help or anything? And he was like, yeah. And I said, okay. I said, man, you need something to eat? And he was like, man, I sure could use something to eat. So I said, well, come on, get in the car. I got him in the car, and I took him to the church that was a couple of blocks up. And I told him, and I said, sir, if you go right into that church right there, I said, they have a food pantry. And I said, I know they can give you something to eat. And so I let him get out, and I drove off real quick because it was Saturday, and I knew the church was closed. I got him there. I'm going to hell for that one. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, that one didn't go as planned. But this is my other thing. As a preacher's kid, I'm a PK. I'm a preacher's kid, just to let everybody know that. I'm a PK. Yeah, and, we off the chain. Y'all already know we all off the chain. We didn't all have kids before we got married and everything. So, turn up, all right? So as a PK kid, as a gentleman, I always try to hold the door open for someone that's elderly. You know what I'm saying? So I was at the grocery store, and this lady, I saw her coming. She had a walker, and so I ran in front of her to, open up the door because that's what we're supposed to do, as gentlemen, as black kings. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be that way. And so she tried to hurry up. I don't know why people, when somebody open up the door for you, why do y'all feel the need to hurry up and rush when somebody open up the door? Y'all, like, no, I was like, ma'am, just walk normal. So she slipped and fell with the walker. I know. So I had a decision that I had to make because I had the door open for her. But I'm only allowed one good deed because it's Monday. So I looked at her and was like, she was looking at me like, and I looked back at her and I was like, I mean, just doing too much. You see what I'm saying? So I did what I was supposed to do. I went inside into the store and I let the next person help her out. No, I mean, it was my big mama. Didn't nobody tell her to rush? I know. So that's the only encouragement that I got for people. You don't want that one? What is she over there doing? Is she selling jewelry or is she making it? You selling it, all right. How much is them bracelets? You work a deal with me? What is the name of your jewelry store? Sweet Creations. You out of Cincinnati? Okay, all right. You still didn't tell me how much they cost. Okay, all right, my fault. Says I'm gonna come over and holler at you. You take Cash App? Man, I just closed mine down too. And I got one last thing. So being from Gainesville, Georgia, I want to introduce y'all to who I am. My uncle, I got an Uncle Paul. So my Uncle Paul ordered, his name was Uncle Drunk, but he didn't drink. That was his name. Gainesville, Georgia. His name was Uncle Drunk, but he didn't drink. But Uncle Drunk didn't have any teeth in his mouth. So Uncle Drunk went and ordered some teeth offline. Like, www, get teeth, something like that. So he got these new teeth in his mouth. And they didn't do a clay mold or nothing. They just sent him some teeth. So Unc sitting at the table, at the dinner table, and can't close his mouth. And he breathing heavy. And his throat was getting dry, so we was just pouring water down his throat just to help him out. And so I was like, you okay over there? And he was like, I done all right now here. I done all right. I was like, what's wrong with, he was like, where did you get them teeth from? He was like, I got it online. It was a clearance sale on the Steve Harvey line. And I was like, well, Unc, did you call the place back and see if you can, like, switch them out? And he was like, I ain't think about that. And I said, well, Unc, you want me to help you out? He said, call now, you help me out. So I called 1-800-GET-TEETH. And I said, the lady was like, sir, how can we help you? I said, well, my uncle is sitting here and he can't close his mouth because his teeth are too big. And she said, well, what's his name? I said, his name is Paul Jackson. She was like, oh, I remember him. He got the low sale clearance, 75% off on the Steve Harvey teeth. And I said, yeah, that's him. And so she was like, can you put him on the phone? And I was like, Unc, she need to talk to you. And she was like, Mr. Jackson, what's going on? He's like, I can't chew a chicken. Like, you can't do what, Mr. Jackson? He's like, I can't chew a chicken. You can't chew your chicken? Yeah, I can't chew a chicken. She was like, well, what do you want us to do? He's like, can you take some of the wisdom out? The wisdom teeth is big. Can you make them dumb as all get up? And I was like, she was like, yeah, I can. He said, can you put a gap in it so I can suck my teeth too? And I said, you're going to come back and you're going to have gold fangs. And my uncle got his GED at 80 years old. All right. He did. No, don't clap for that because he joined the spelling bee. Okay. And lost. He had 3 strikes. And so they was like, Mr. Jackson, he had his new teeth. He was showing off. had that big gap in there so he can suck his teeth. And they said, Mr. Jackson, spell enough. And he was like, oh, I got you. A-N-U-F, enough. And we was like, Unc, who taught you how to spell? He was like, that's the way they taught us at the GED class. I said, no, that's wrong. You can't spell that. I said, you only get 2 more tries, Unc. So we looking out there, and I'm like, man, he's just embarrassing us right now. And so they said, Mr. Jackson, spell empty. And he said, all right, I got you. Empty. They was like, yes, Mr. Jackson, spell empty. He said, empty. Mr. Jackson, spell empty. He said, I am spelling it. Letter M, letter T. Empty. Another strike. I said, Unc only got 1 more shot. And they said, Mr. Jackson, spell coffee. And I was like, oh, Unc gonna get this. He drink it every day. He drink the kind that that Sanka. See my old school saints, they know about that. That's where you just, hey, oh, young man, you probably don't even know about Sanka. It used to come in a bottle. You didn't put it in the percolator. You just took a spoon, mix it in with hot water, and do that. My man, look, he laughing. He was like, boy, there was some good old days, boy. I put that Kahlua in it. So we had to spell coffee. And I was like, Unc got this. We about to go home with the win. Because he had just lost to a 16-year-old. And I was like, come on, Unc, spell that coffee. And he said, C-O-U-G-H''E. Coffee. And he lost and got mad because they said, Mr. Jackson, you have lost the $25 Speedway gas card. And he never went back to school. So I want to thank y'all for listening. No, he failed the spelling test. Bootsy Collins' agent, can you explain that to her when you get in the car? I love when people talk back to me. She said, did he get the G? Is this to be continued? No, it is comedy with a spiritual twist. Cincinnati, I love y'all. Thank y'all for letting me clown around. God bless y'all. Have a good one.